Peace and Yah bless. Yah is a strong one. The strong one is Yah. He's the tree of life. He's the fountain of living waters. He's the spirit and creator of all things that live and breathe. So let everything that has a breath of life in it, every single creature, say all praise Yah, the master of the universe. On this particular discourse, I'm going to talk more about the Exodus process, okay? Because many of you, some of you, and probably a great deal of you have gotten impatient with Yah. You got impatient with him only because you believed, some of these leaders, like YOR, that group out of Chicago and those things like that, years back about this Exodus, that it would be triggered, at that particular time, we thought at 2016. And then they got to reading a little deeper into these different books, which are totally outside of the Book of Remembrance, right? They got to reading these different books, and they thought, okay, well, maybe it's 2018. And then I heard, people saying that, oh, it's been delayed. You know what I mean? Then I heard another timeline, way to 2022 or 2023 or something like that. I don't know what they came up with now. Remember, we cannot predict what Yah is going to do. That's number one, okay? That's number one fact. We cannot predict when. We cannot predict by numbers, by the Bible, by Bible verses, or any of that stuff. Yah moves at his own behest, right? In other words, he's God and we obey him. So he moves when he's ready to move. He don't move when we say, or he don't move according to a timeline. It has to happen. It has to happen right now. You know what I mean? That's what a lot of these leaders think. Oh, something has to happen right now. Now, what he can do is give us markers of time. And after that marker expires, then he begins a redemption process. But it doesn't mean that just because the marker expires, like the 400 years, right, that the next day you just get up and walk out of captivity. No, it has to be a process. Okay? You can't just get up and walk out of countries and just boom, and start the Exodus, process yourself or whatever the case is, okay? Yah has to work and is going to work through the global elite on this particular Exodus. Even though it's him doing it, he works through them, okay? Top of the triangle on down, right? House of Windsor on down, okay? He works through them, all right? That's why it asks in Isaiah, who are these that fly as doves to their windows? Because Isaiah didn't know what it was back. He didn't know what airplane was back in his time. So he looked at his people flying as doves, you know what I mean? To their windows. That's the question being asked. Then it talks about how the kings and queens and the rulers and the power elites of the world would be the ones to put this thing together, okay? Also that the ships of Spain would be the first to come. Ships, not literal like, Pacific Princess ships, something like that, okay? Not cruise ships, even though that could be included. I'm not saying it's not included. That could be included. I don't know. But airplanes. But we know for sure it's aircraft because aircraft are faster, right? Than those cruise ships, right? Aircraft much faster, okay? So that's why it asks, who are these that fly as a dove? So we know it's aircraft that are going to be used. And Spain does have aircraft, their own aircraft, okay? Red and yellow. Just Google it. You'll find them, all right? So there's no way to know, as far as a timeline is concerned, like we thought back in 2016, right? Counting those years in between the movements that we see over in Ezekiel 16, chapter 55, right? We counted the years in between the first two movements, and we assumed, keyword, we assumed that would lead to an exodus in 2016. Well, we erred. Everybody erred in that, especially YOR, especially the top of YOR, House of Benjamin. You know, that was a super error. And then try to predict again, right? They tried to do a recount. Okay, 2018. Nothing happened in 2018. Well, you know, by that time, everybody's got to get a little antsy. Okay, what's going on here? What's happening? You know what? You know, why is y'all not responding? Is it something we're not doing? Is it, you know, something we need to do? Do we need to do a mass prayer? Or, you know, we were thinking of all kind of things, trying to figure out what was going on. Then we reached 2020, and I know by now everybody's really antsy. Oh, they probably, a lot of people, some people I know, they fell away from y'all completely, start doing other things. It's probably some probably went back into church houses and things like that. You have to be patient. Remember the key word that you see in this book of remembrance, so-called Old Testament, Most High says, wait on him. Well, what does wait mean? Exactly that. Wait, okay? He does a thing and moves when he's ready to move. He don't move at the behest of humankind, human beings, mankind, the elite, nobody. Hey, House of David, me or anybody else. He doesn't move whenever we want him to move. Because remember, Yah already knows the future, okay? And everything is action, you know, reaction, you know what I mean? Cause and effect. You know what I mean? Dualism, right? Because if Yah moves one thing, then he also has to move another thing. Because everything works off cause and effect, or dualism, right? Okay? So you can't just guess when the Most High is going to do a thing. But what he does, he gives us markers to follow in time to let us know about when the time should be. Just like he did with Zerubbabel and Ezra and Nehemiah, and even all those guys didn't come back at the same time, okay? If you look up the timelines, those three individuals did not come back at the same time. Nehemiah was the last to come back out of the captivity. And by that time, we know the Persians had already overthrown Babylon, Nebuchadnezzar, okay? It wasn't Nebuchadnezzar, it was Nabonidus, okay? By that time, he was in control. Nebuchadnezzar was in control back, you know, going from 606 BCE down to 586 when he, you know, burned down the Solomon's temple. And I'm not sure what year he stopped being in control. But we know Nabonidus, or Nabonidus, however you say his name, he was actually in control of Babylon when the Persians empire came to rise up and overthrew them. And we, you know, at that time, the Persians had taken over Babylon, but we were still in the captivity, okay? We were released by the Persian king, right? Because of Cyrus, and that led into Darius's reign and Xerxes, which leads into the book of Esther, right? And how that probably was just a remnants left, because by that time we was already back in the land, okay? So you see how that was a process? That's why in Micah 7:15, the Most High says he's going to do it similar, right? Similar to Egypt. Similar. Not just like, but similar. And probably some similarities, right? I'm just assuming here, to what happened with Ezra and Nehemiah, okay? And Zerubbabel, when they came out to build what was called the Second Temple, or what we call the Second Temple era, okay? So what I just told you are very important facts. So rewind this video and listen to it, okay, proficiently. And I hope what I'm saying is not too much for the person to hear or listen to, okay? Because it's very important to understand these Exodus processes, because everybody looks at the Exodus of Moses and you're thinking that's how it's going to happen. Remember, Yehuda, Benjamin, Levi, okay, mostly in America, but also spread to the four corners of the earth. All right? Also spread that far out. So we're going to be coming from everywhere, just like it tells you in Isaiah 11, just like it tells you in Jeremiah chapter 23. It tells you the same exact thing. Okay? Jeremiah 23 verses 7 and 8. Okay, go look that up, right? About the Exodus. Now, the Exodus of Moses was so easy only because, right? Check it out. because they were walking distance from the land of Israel, or what they call Palestina back in that time, okay? They were walking distance, or during that time it's called Canaan, it's called Canaan back then, right? Back to Moses' time, okay? We were just called Israel, but the land was called Canaan, right? Then Palestine, then today the state of Israel, right? So anyway, that being said, they were walking distance. They were able to, walk and go through, Saudi Arabia, through the Sinai, and all through, all the way through that region right there, okay? And that's when the testing went on with the 40 years and all that. We know how it went. The only ones that walked in were Joshua and Caleb from that generation. It was a whole new generation of people who had been born, right? That actually walked in, okay, coming, through the leadership of Joshua ben Nun, right? Okay, so that's that. So a little bit of history, all right? So I'm saying all that to say this. There's no way to know when the Most High is going to move his hand. What we do is we watch the signs in the world, and that will tell us when the Most High is about to move his hand. And don't panic, because nothing can stop it, okay? Nothing can stop the Exodus. Nothing can stop us, so you ain't got to panic at all. Just relax, okay? Relax, go to work, do your job, okay? Until Yah says help. The 400 years is over, so we have the marker, right? Because in the old Babylon, the Most High gave them 70 exact years. Well, he gave us 400 exact years, but it didn't expire, like I told you, probably to the end of 2019. So there was no way we could have been redeemed in 2016 or 2018 or 2019. It had to go all the way up to 2020, as I told you, which is what? Not only clear vision, but also what? Redemption. Remember, the Most High created numbers, and he created the meanings behind numbers, okay? All right, so we expect that redemption in this year, okay? But it's still going to be a process, and it may take longer, maybe even longer than a year. You know what I mean? Okay? Possibly. All right? So let's go to Isaiah 53. Very, very, very important verse to understand and know about, okay? Why? Because it gives integral details on how we're going to come out, and Jeremiah 3:14. All right? So I'm going to read it in the King James Version, and then I'll read it in some other versions, make a little more sense to you, okay? So listen up, Isaiah 53. Now listen to what it's saying right here, okay? Listen very carefully, okay? It says, depart ye, go ye out from thence, touch no unclean thing. Go ye out of the midst of her, talking about America, the daughter of Babylon, right? Be ye clean that bear the vessels of Yah. Well, we know who bear the holy vessels. That's the priestly Levites. Okay? They bear the holy vessels, right? In the temple. So it's talking about them. So that's how you know they're over here, right? Then he gives a direction. For ye shall not go out with haste. So you're not going to go out quick, right? Nor by flight, right? For Yah will go before you. The God of Israel will be your reward. That's very important right here in Isaiah chapter 52, verses 11 and 12. Open your Bible up and go there and read that, okay? Very important that you read that, okay? So you ain't got to get up and, and worry about the process. It's going to take place. You have to worry about getting home. It's going to take place. Now, the question everybody is asking, well, how is it going to take place? Is it going to be planes flying from all over the place and all that? An exodus, if it was an exodus like that, like our ancestors, see, they had to come out with haste, remember? Because after the Most High dropped the plague, the 10th plague, right, on the firstborn children of all of the elite, right, and all of the cattle and animals, right, in Egypt, right? Okay, Passover, right? Matter of fact, this is the last day of Passover, according to the month of April, right? Okay, this is the last day of unleavened bread, as they call it, Passover unleavened bread. Okay, celebrate everybody who keeps it that way. And all those who kept it before now, that's okay. As long as you recognize it, that's all that counts, right? Okay, so that being said, so let's get back on point right here. So the point is our ancestors had to come out quick. Because Pharaoh was pissed off. Firstborn son got took out. of all the households in Egypt. So yeah, he was mad, and all the Egyptians were like, yo, man, y'all got to go. Israelites out of here. I'm talking about as far as coming up out of Egypt. All right. Well, all right. Well, this time it's going to be different. The Most High says, look, man, ain't going to be nobody chasing you. Ain't going to be nobody after you. Ain't going to be nobody trying to kill you or murder you, or it ain't nothing to worry about. Because he's going to go before us. Ain't nobody going to shoot your planes down or any of that sort of stuff. Nothing to sweat. The only thing you need to be doing is preparing yourself for that moment for whenever it comes. All right? But it will be a process because, in Exodus, like what happened with our ancestors, man, that probably crashed the global markets. Okay? If you had thousands of people just getting up all at the same time and, journeying over to the land. First of all, the land has to be prepared for you to get there. Okay? So I guess the next question would be, well, will the house of David or the government arm precede, the people? In other words, go before the people, because it's actually the Messiah who gathers the people, right? Or assembles the tribes. Now, it's Yah doing it, but it's Yah working through him to make it happen, working through the elite to make that all happen, okay? Put that thing together, okay? In a nice, clean, succinct, and orderly fashion. Not a bunch of people running up to the airport in desperation. You don't have to worry about none of that, okay? I'm here to give you guys some good tidings and some confidence today, okay? So, but will the house of David proceed? There's a possibility that might happen. Because we see that in Psalms 110, where the Most High tells the governor to rule thou in the midst of thine enemies, okay? Because we know the Zionists, generally, most of them are our enemies, right? Okay? But it tells the governor to do what? To rule thou in the midst of thy enemies. So I imagine Netanyahu, them and Gantz and, Bennett and all them, you know what I mean? Lieberman, they'll probably all still be there to see this happen. Watch the anointed of Yah come in. And, I think they at least deserve to see that. You know what I mean? See all that happen. Now, how that's going to happen? Well, we don't know. We have to leave that up to Yah, And I've read Isaiah. I know what it says about not seeing a people of a greater, however it puts it, Isaiah, about the people being there. I'm talking about the Zionists, in the land, you know what I mean? We're not supposed to see them. But, Psalms 110 has to make sense somewhere in there, okay? As far as the Most High telling us that. As far as the government, I'm talking about the governor is concerned. Because the governor has to touch down first. It can't be the regular people touching down first. No, this is the Jerusalem movement, man. This ain't the people movement, okay? This is the Jerusalem movement. So the government arm all of those people. We touch down first, okay? We're the first ones to go, all right? All right, so let's read a little bit in some other versions, okay? So you see right here in the contemporary English version, it says, you won't need to run. No one is chasing you. Yah, the God of Israel, will lead and protect you from enemy attacks. You see that? Look at the Good News Translation. This time, notice it says this time, because they realized, or whoever was translating this realized, right, that we ran out of Egypt. We got up out of there quick. We spoiled them and got up out of there. It said, this time, you will not have to leave in a hurry. See? See that? You will not be trying to escape. We're not going to be, it ain't going to go like that, okay? Yah, your God, will lead you and protect you on every side. So have confidence, Israel. Okay, this is the Holman Christian Standard Bible. For you will not leave in a hurry, and you will not have to take flight, running fast, right? Because Yah is going before you, and the God of Israel, your rear guard. All right? You guys are kind of getting it now, right? Okay? International version, right? International Standard Version. For you won't go out in haste, nor will you go out in flight. For Yah will go before you, and the God of Israel will be your rear guard. He is called the God of all the earth. You hear that? The God of Israel is the God of all the earth. Not Allah, okay? The God of Israel is the God of the earth. But yeah, these people are not going to let let us crash the markets, you know what I mean? which actually slavery was the first thing traded on Wall Street. 1121, right? Wall Street. Okay. By the way. All right. But they're not gonna let the markets crash. That will probably crash the markets and cause a lot of panic. Because see, that would cause panic in a lot of nations and a lot of places, especially in the United States. People panicking, running around. I want to go with them, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? It ain't going to go like that. It'll be in a nice, orderly fashion. Like I said, it may even be in a lottery type of fashion, with the exception of the Jerusalem movement. We have to go first. Okay? All of the movement, not really sure about that. Okay? We know the governor has to rule in the midst of his enemies, or he will be ruling in the midst of his enemies. Okay? Psalms 110, go read for yourself. All right. But ain't going to be no need to worry about going out in haste or in a hurry or, being all anxious about this Exodus. It's going to take place and it's going to be orderly. Why? Because the elite are leading it. Okay. They are leading this Exodus. All right. So when you get over here to Jeremiah chapter 3, I'll show you where I am. Okay. Verse 14. Turn, O backsliding children, saith Yah. For I am married unto you, and I will take you one of a city and two of a family and bring you to Zion. You see that? That's a process right there. Okay? That's a process. So it's telling you that that's probably more likely it's not going to be, just bunches and bunches and bunches of people all at the same time. Once again, the land probably couldn't even absorb a blow like that. If you had thousands of people coming, the land probably couldn't absorb that. Now, several hundred people at a time? Yes. Okay? Because we don't want you to get there and not have places to stay, not have places to lodge, things like that. All that has to be either created for you or be, vacated. You know what I mean? All right? Because you don't want to get there, this thing to be out of order from the start. This is Yah's program, okay? This is the kingdom of Yah that we're creating, so it can't be out of order. You see, the universe is in order. The sun and the moon, the stars is in order. The heavens is in order. The heavens of heavens where Yah is in order. The earth is in order. Well, that has to be in order too, okay? So that's what it's telling you. He's going to bring you one of a city and two of a family. May not be, your whole entire family might not go, Or and they might not even want to go. Like there's a lot of people, they're not going to want to take this journey. Okay? And like I said, some of them shouldn't take it anyway. Because most of them ain't really ever kept, God's law. Maybe they need to stay in the door of Babylon and, for a little while until their turn comes up and learn the law. Okay? Instead of getting over to the land, make a bunch of mistakes, end up costing them their life. Because some things you do in the land, man, if you ain't careful, it'll cost your life. Okay? Some of you fast women, you come over there committing adultery, you're gonna be wiped off the face of the earth. Okay? Once you have a husband, that's your husband, you deal with him. Thick and thin, you deal with him, all right? If you should do such a thing, all right? If not, you try to cheat, you'll be done, okay? So that's one of the laws, okay, just to tell you about, okay? Anyway, let's read a little bit of Jeremiah 14, some different versions, okay? New International Version. Return, faithless people, okay? Declares Yah. You know how faithless we are, right? For I am your husband. I will choose you, one from a town and two of a clan, and bring you to Zion, right? Okay? New Living Translation. Return home, O wayward children, says Yah. For I am your master. I will bring you back to the land of Israel. Okay? One from this town and two from that family, from wherever you are scattered. Because I told you we're scattered to the four corners of the earth. And I think you ought to get in the gist of this whole thing, all right? So it's very important that you get some understanding about that. We ain't going to get up and just, run out of here, man. Okay? All right? There ain't going to be no need for all that like our ancestors had to run out. And they was in flight. When they came up out of Egypt, they was getting up out of there real quick. After that happened to Pharaoh, Pharaoh was mad. You know what I'm saying? So they had to go. All the people in Egypt, oh man, come on, Israel. Y'all got to go ahead and get up out of here, bro, because, our firstborn, they got killed. Y'all got to go ahead and go. You know what I mean? It's going to be some drama. You know what I mean? So anyway, I'm just being facetious, but, with the drama thing. But I'm just saying that, That's probably how they actually really felt, though. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, y'all got to get up out of here, man. You know, if not, you know, we finna drop drama on you. Get up out of here. You know what I mean? Get up out. Yo, that's why Pharaoh called Moses. He said, summon Moses right now. They went and got Moses and Aaron. Said, go. You know, Pharaoh, just read the book for yourself in Exodus. He said, man, go, man. Get out of here, man. I've had enough. You know, once Yah humbled Pharaoh, okay? All right. So, but will there be strangers with us? We know that already by Isaiah 14, okay? For Yah will have mercy on Jacob and yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. And strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. So that may be a part of your one of a family, two of a, you know, one of a city, two of a family process. You know what I mean? They may take this person, that person, this person, that person, but it's going to be done in an orderly fashion, okay? Now, like I said, this thing may be done through the governor himself, right? And we will decide with the elite, okay, we're going to, you know, we'll take these 100 right here from this state. We'll take 100 more from California. We'll take 100 from New York. We'll take 100 from Florida and 100 from Texas. We'll take just those, okay? Boom, okay? Well, the next round, later down the line, we'll take 100 from Oklahoma. We'll take 100 from Montana. We'll take 100 from New Jersey, okay? Boom, take those. Or 50 or whoever's all decided they want to go. Now, like I said, we'll put this thing together. You know, they may have to register. We may set a register up to see who wants to go. Then once we see all the names, right, like kind of like, not like a census, but don't want to make that mistake, the mistake David made, right? Anyway, but maybe a register or something we'll set up and make them register to see who wants to go. Then we'll be able to look at our register and we'll go from there. Okay, well, from California, there's 250 people. Nobody else registered, so we'll take those 250, right? Bring them. Boom, okay, from Texas, there's 300. Okay, we'll take those 300. Okay, boom. Or wherever they may be coming from. We'll develop some kind of a good and organized system for this to happen. That's why the Most High is telling you, you know, in Jeremiah 3:14, that's the way it's going to be. It ain't going to be no boom, you know what I mean? Boom, everybody rush to the airport. Grab a seat on the plane and go. No, man, that's going out in flight. That's going out in desperation. That's why Isaiah 52, verse 11 and 12 is telling you that. No, there ain't going to be no desperation, no need for all that. Just relax. Get up, go do your everyday job, and that's all you got to do. Okay? All right. Just keep living your life. Like I said, we'll come up with a registry or something like that where people can register that want to go to Israel, and then we'll do it like in a lottery. Or if there's just, you know, we'll take X amount of people each time. Okay? And they actually did it that way during the movement of Ezra and Nehemiah. It was waves that they came back in. They didn't all come back at the same time. All right? You can read that yourself. All right? So that's that. All right? All right. So that's the Exodus process, and more than likely how it will happen. I don't see it being just boom shakalaka. You know what I mean? And then everybody bum rush the airport. You know what I mean? Trying to get up out of here. That's going out in haste, man. Desperation, like our ancestors, had to do. The Most High said, no, you ain't got to do that. I'm going before you. So I would imagine it's going to be, an organized effort, since the elite are going to be handling most of it. And it ain't nothing for them to handle it, because it ain't nothing but one-way tickets. You know what I mean? Because when we leave here, you probably not going to be able to return. They may ask you to, say, hey, relinquish your citizenship to the United States. For some people. Okay? I mean, it could happen like that. We don't really know, but that's why some people may want to go, some may not. You know what I mean? They may want to keep their citizenship to the United States, but they may ask you, now, if you're going to go to Israel, well, then you got to relinquish that. You got to let that go. Go over there and be a citizen, of this brand new nation that's being born, that's coming about. Okay? So very, very, very important. Okay? As I told you about, Sodom and their daughters, what they're going to say. The first shall say to Zion, behold, behold them. I will give to Jerusalem one that bringeth good tidings. So that's us, man. Okay? And I'm bringing some good tidings right now, trying to get you guys straight so that you can understand what's happening and what's happening with this Exodus. And when it's going to happen and how it's going to happen, because it has to be in real time. It can't be something out of a dream or anything like that. You know what I mean? You can't be dreamscaping. Okay, it has to be something that can happen really and manifest itself in reality as an Exodus coming from all over the world. Okay, all right. But it can't be thousands upon thousands of people because the Lamb's got too many people probably in it right now. Okay? It may not be able to take that type of trauma, you know what I mean, at first. Okay? So we'll have to see how it's going to be done. Like I said, maybe a registry put up and you register yourself, and then the leader go through and see who's who. We'll look at, we'll agree, we'll take this 100 right here or these people right here or whatever the case is. We'll work it out for y'all. Don't even sweat it, okay? God's going before you, okay? For all those who are doing his law, they want to go home and serve him with all your heart, soul, and might. But it has to be a process. It can't be boom shakalaka, everybody run to the airport. Okay? Like I said, they wouldn't let you do it anyway because you got to go through TSA. But you know what I mean? So I'm just saying that it wouldn't happen like what happened like with Ben and me, like Sodom and her daughters. It wouldn't happen like that because they had to sneak out of here. You know what I mean? They had, I think, a big old snowstorm in Chicago, and I forgot exactly how. I think that covered them. That's how they actually got out of here. Them 400 people that left out of Chicago with Ben and me. That's how they, that's how they got out, without really being detected. But that was just Yah going before them. You know what I mean? All right, so let's talk about Isaiah chapter 50 right here, 23. Okay, tells you these things, man. Okay, let's read 22, and this is almost over with. Let's read 23. And kings shall be thy nursing fathers, and queens thy nursing mothers, and they should bow down to thee and lick their face with their face toward the earth, right? And lick up the dust of thy feet. And thou shalt know that I am Yah. Okay? For they should not be ashamed that wait for me. So really simple as that. And then 24. Shall the prey be taken from the mighty, from the elite, you know what I mean? From the U.S., right? From the mighty. Or the lawful captive delivers. See, that's that lawful captive the Most High delivers into that remnant that he's put together, okay? That's why it's done this way, okay? Now, I'd like to say more, but this video time's running out. But thank you guys for listening. Go do your reading and your research. And ask Yah for understanding about this process as it gets ready to take place. Thank you guys for listening. I look forward to seeing you all in Jerusalem one day. But once again, David goes first. The house of David, we go first, okay? The simple as that, okay? And maybe just a couple of us, all right? Thank you guys for listening. Peace. Y'all bless.